day. Today's Wednesday, the 27th of October. We're pushing on through this, almost Halloween. Again, you're with us at the Bipoc Happy Hour, which is Black, Indigenous, People of Color. This is our wind down. We've worked and did all that, and now we're just going to sit and talk about what's going on today. I'm Uncle Ray. I got Brother Dennis. I got Sister Sana and Brother Bobby. How are you good people doing this afternoon?
Doing good. How are you?
It's hump day. Y'all ought to be ready for the weekend to get out of this stuff.
What is hump day?
The middle of the week. We're over the hump, as they say.
Oh, you don't hump on hump day?
Well, you should. You should hump every day, but definitely on hump day. I mean, that's what I would suggest. Some people might think different.
Safely.
Might put a crook in your back.
Safely.
Can you dress up as Santa Claus on Halloween?
Yeah.
It's a costume. It's a fairy tale creature costume. You know, from Trek.
Is Santa
You could be
comes on
killer
Halloween?
Santa. You could be the killer Santa.
Yeah, you could be Krampus. You could be Krampus.
What's that?
Everybody know what Krampus is. It's the evil Santa Claus that kill kids.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Krampus, yeah. Everybody know Krampus.
So I'm saying if Santa was to come to Easter, he had to be evil?
If Santa came to Easter, he had to be
I mean,
evil.
Halloween. Santa came to Halloween. Does he have to be an evil Santa? Can Santa come?
You don't have to be evil. It all depends on
right. Can he go party with everybody else too?
But should he be a North Pole?
Come on, Santa can be Santa that he used to be. Santa can come out the closet and be gay. Santa can
right. Why can't Santa come out whenever he wants to?
Santa can have bipolar.
No,
Santa
let's not do Santa Claus.
If Santa comes out on Halloween and he's supposed to be making toys for Christmas, how does that work?
Oh,
what do you mean? How does that work? Can he visit? Can he travel?
Hold up. You fucking him up. You done messed up his title.
But can he travel? I mean, why can't he hit the bars?
He's a boss. What did he
magic of Christmas.
Uh-huh.
You missed the whole magic of Christmas. I mean, the man can get all around the world in one night.
So why can't he go party at the bar?
Right. And then hop back to where he needs to go. Didn't you go party before you had to go to work the next day? Yeah.
But Santa should be drinking and Santa should not be driving this sleigh on Easter drunk. I mean, on Halloween drunk.
Rudolph drives the sleigh, but why do you think he got to drive the sleigh? Sleigh only comes out in Christmas. Ain't no snow. I'm sure he got a nice old Mercedes Benz. Why he got to drive the sleigh?
And why he has to drive? He's a boss. He can have a chauffeur.
Right, he got elves. The elves can drive him in the car and drop him off so he don't do drunk driving. Everybody being safe.
You never watched the Santa Claus. You gotta go watch the Santa Claus.
Did you know his best friend is Dumbo?
Right. And Rudolph does all the logistics for the whole setup.
No, Rudolph is on vacation right now. He said he's not coming back until
he still do logistics. I called down for logistics.
Oh, you did?
So if Santa come out on Halloween, how does that look?
How does it look about what?
What color is he wearing? He's coming out on Halloween. Who's he gonna tell? Everybody?
Is he wearing fishnet pantyhose and high heels?
He wearing red lips?
Or is what is he gonna wear?
I don't know, but I mean, is he allowed to come out on Halloween?
What?
How Mrs. Claus gonna feel about that?
Is there a rule that he can't?
Because we cannot come out to Christmas. Halloween can't come to Christmas.
So none of the holidays can visit the other holidays?
I was thinking that would be wrong.
So the Easter Bunny can't go and party for Memorial Day just because, Labor Day because he worked?
See?
The Star of Bethlehem can't shine any other day but...
And that's my other question was just that. Does the Easter Bunny lay eggs once a year? And what would they look like?
Well, I think you should ask the Easter Bunny and those that celebrate the Easter Bunny. In my culture, we don't play with the Easter Bunny. You don't do nothing. We
They have the eggs.
Right.
They have the Easter Bunny eggs every year. Some of them even carry like stuff in the middle of them. Who lays those? The chickens or is it Easter bunnies?
Probably the people that participate in it. Do you participate in
I
that?
mean, since we're talking about Santa, then it must be the Easter Bunny.
Yes.
Because we're talking about Santa, so we're coming from an assumption that these people are real, right?
That's
Right.
what Dennis
Real
say,
people.
because that's what his people taught him.
So it's the Easter Bunny then. Easter Bunny's laying those eggs. You not seen the Cadbury commercials?
I see. We agree. I agree. If there's going to be any eggs, they have to be laid by a bunny or Easter bunny.
And I'm sure it's on the internet somewhere they laid by the rabbits.
That's why I said that.
The movie. You can go watch the movie Bunny. It's very informative. It tells you everything.
And I'm sure this probably got a segment in there because Santa was in Shrek, so I'm sure he can go out any other days.
See, he's part of the fairy tale creatures too.
And he was in the night before Halloween with the Halloween dude. So what are you talking about? Santa parties with everybody. He's just not limited to Christmas because Santa is a magical fairy tale creature.
He just don't tell you.
Right.
So
and you could always find a Santa drunk somewhere in January. Christmas is over, so why can't he party the rest of the month?
Oh, he be partying on Irish Day, the Green Day with the Leprechaun.
Oh
Day.
yeah, St. Patrick's Day.
Them two, Mrs. Claus be in her feelings.
Mrs. Claus is old. She's done with all that. She know he gonna do all
her
that.
feelings because they be
She got the fun.
up.
She got the money from the police to get him out of jail.
let Mrs. Claus know that Mr. Claus has been messing around with boys since the beginning of time. Why did they get all upset over it?
Say it again.
You're not gonna get Sister Claus to admit to anything, so don't put that lie on her. She's not gonna admit nothing.
Met from one of the elves.
And the elves ain't no good because they'll tell all the business.
But they've been satisfied.
Probably one that's taking care of her right.
I'm sure she got somebody to take care of her.
Listen, one of them take care of Santa,
or the
one of them take care of her.
Of course, that's what a staff is for, Dennis.
Right.
You got staff.
So Santa getting his needs met, so is Mrs. Claus.
Right. That's why they can do Christmas in one day.
Right. That's when they got the head elf.
However you want to say, yes, I'm sure.
That's why Santa.
All that.
That's why Santa coming out on Halloween.
So if you want to bring Santa out for Halloween, I think you should.
That he's equal opportunity to everybody.
Right. We should be the head elf with them.
What is the head elf gonna do?
Well, he does all the time.
Head.
Give Mrs. Claus her head.
Wouldn't that be the carpet muncher?
No, he's a head elf. He can do for Santa or her.
Oh, he's a unicorn.
No, he might as well call.
He's just there to take care of them. That's what the unicorn does. I'm just there to take care of you.
Well, if Santa can go to Halloween, then I guess he can go to any place else you need to go.
Santa goes everywhere, dude.
She don't deal with the head elf. She deal with Papa Smurf. Get it right.
Because she's got some time off in this. She ain't new.
Then sometimes
Smurf. That's what's up.
Then
Papa
sometimes
Smurf was kicking them girls down.
Then sometimes she like a bad boy. She will go with Gargamel. When she want a bad boy, she go with Gargamel.
But Gargamel got a cat and he's gay.
Because you got to catch your gay?
No.
And so now you got something against gay people now?
No, but Gargamel is not going to try to.
All right, Dave Chappelle.
Excuse me, Gargamel already has Santa. Santa get everybody. That's why he brings that joy. He's going around in everybody's chimney. Male and female.
So hashtag I stand with Dave Chappelle and I'm gay.
I stand with David Chappelle as well. POC Pride stands with David Chappelle.
Is this a dead poor society? Y'all don't stay on their
Stand with
desk.
Dave Chappelle and I'm queer.
Yeah.
Right, yay!
It's not us, Dave Chappelle. It's
No,
the
it's
ones
that-
you don't like.
Right, some other people.
It's the other ones. But because we stand beside you, brother.
Right, because we know what the comedy show is about, and we still gonna party with you after it's over.
Not
So
only
we didn't
that,
take no offense.
not only that, you set a good example for us to stand for what we believe in, regardless of what they want. You done showed us that multiple times. When he walked off of his, he did something with Netflix before, right?
And walked off from that $1 million deal. Some
50 million.
Yeah, I told him fuck
So
them.
you said if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything?
But they
Correct.
still own the rights to that to this day that he can't use his own name anymore because they own that. Isn't that messed up? There's nothing he can do about
You
it. 'Cause
can't use what?
he can't use Dave Chappelle's show because they own that. At
Oh,
Comedy
he
Central.
can't use Dave Chappelle's show. So
Right.
he can say Dave Chappelle Comedy Hour. He can
Yeah,
say,
you can say
Dave
anything but that
Chappelle.
show.
He can't say show.
But I'm saying all those shows he did over there, he can't even use them because he's not getting paid anymore because he walked away from the contract. The contract said if you
No,
walk
they
away,
renegotiated. He came back.
they did not renegotiate. He on his new special, that's what he said. They're not paying me. I'm not getting no money from it. Boycott that.
Oh, okay.
He says nothing I can do about that either because I signed a contract when I was 18, 19 years old, thinking it was okay deal, but it was a 5-car Monte.
Faultless.
Right, everybody around me was saying it's a good deal, but they knew it wasn't. Now Comedy Central owns all that.
Oh well. Faultless, and he's older now. Now he know what he's doing. That's why he's getting ready to go on that 10-state tour after the film festival to promote his last show.
Right. And it's
Yeah,
not called the
so,
Dave
hey.
Chappelle show.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? He can name it whatever he wants as long as he don't use show.
Because we know he's in there, we're gonna go see it. We're gonna pay to go listen to him.
Yeah, I'm mad that I missed.
Because comedians
Cat
don't
Williams.
do that for free.
Cat Williams supposedly came down here one day soon. I wouldn't
See
mind.
all
going-
of them.
Support your black artists.
Yes,
Support
why
all
not? I mean, they
black.
didn't say anything offensive to us. And you know, somebody always in their feelings over some weird stuff, and anybody even talking to them.
Support all black businesses and entities.
And I don't want to be rude or
Not
say, but
just
I don't know
throw a
any
couple out
black
like
organizations that's boycotting it.
Like Wisdom Strategies, support them. You know, support Lucius Massages. You feel me? Luscious Lucius. You know, or that old country boy mobile market.
Are y'all running any specials? This is holiday.
For who?
Can I get a Black Friday special?
For which company?
I
All
don't think
of
so.
the
I'm
above.
sorry.
Oh,
My
well,
fees stay the same.
It's Black
There
Friday.
you go. I always want to raise your fees.
Hey, you getting that wisdom. That's just worth it.
Okay. Know your worth.
How you doing?
Know your worth.
You know how the big guys got to pay. Pay what you weigh.
Hey, Signer taught me that when I tipped my hat to Signer, baby.
Yes.
Pay
Get on
what you weigh.
Yeah, get on this table. Pay what you weigh.
No, I'm talking about
Okay.
she just taught me very how to value, know your worth. You know.
Don't undercharge yourself.
It was an enlightening moment for you.
Very enlightening moment. I was very appreciative. It wasn't about a gay man seeking sex or trying to get laid or anything like that. You
were
know what I mean?
seeking knowledge.
Huh?
You were seeking knowledge.
Very much so.
Grasshopper.
Mhm. So now you have something to take forth and teach
But you know, she.
and return the favor.
But you know,
Each
with,
one, teach one.
you know, with
Yes,
Signer,
each one
she,
teach one, everybody learns.
with Signer, she always give out her spirit. You know what I'm saying? She has
Yeah.
that spirit, that teaching spirit, that loving, that mama spirit. You know, to
Can
make
somebody
sure
please, can somebody go get the Vaseline? Son can't walk out that room. Her head swole up. She can't get out of that room. Get the Vaseline.
but she is, because she babies me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. I'm an infant in this game, and she makes
So
sure I walk the right way.
how do you add cost to that?
That's priceless. There's something you can't put a price on that.
And then you appreciate it. It's appreciative because it's not only that, it's a collective that's been helping me. You understand? With no charge. You feel me? And that's why I try to do the same thing to others, inspire them to do something, because someone's doing the same way with me. They giving me their wisdom and inspiring me to do whatever I'm doing. If we continue to do that, we will be much better. We will be a much better culture, nation. And stop worrying about everybody else.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with individual cultures. I just think humans are just biologically just weird. Instead of looking for the future and looking for ways to build and support as a culture, period, the human race, I don't use like ants. Ants make sure the home front is taken care of. We'll die to take care of the home front. Because everybody in there is taken care of. Humans don't do that. Even the majority class, they give two shits about anybody. So as a group, humans just don't take care of humans like they should. We all bleed red and we all put our pants on the same way, regardless if we don't speak the same language. Do you think that'll ever change?
I mean, what's crazy is I don't even understand why there's an argument with these Democrats about raising taxes on the wealthy people.
Because the wealthy people are in those positions.
But I'm saying, if you call yourself a Democrat, I think that that is one thing that we all should agree upon is that, the top 1% should be paying an equal percentage of their income that we are paying for our taxes. You know what I'm saying? That's all this bill would do. It would make corporations pay taxes. It would make, wealthier folks pay a little bit more. And it's still not even going back to what their tax rate was in the 60s or the 70s. It's their tax rate, to go to 35%, which is what the rest of our tax rate is. That's all I'm saying. It's just,
it makes no sense. I agree.
You still got loopholes that you can, and you still got loopholes you can use to make more money, even at that new rate and new situations. So it's not like it's going to hurt you or affect you. It's just making it more fair.
That one congresswoman that refuses to do anything because it's going to hurt her corporate placements and everything. And she just flat out said, I don't want to raise the taxes on the wealthy and the corporate because she represents them. She don't represent the normal people. I don't understand how she got elected. I don't understand how she still stays in there. Because you're not representing the people.
She represents Arizona. And Arizona, being a state that typically folks would look at as a red state, it really is purple. And the people of that state voted to raise the minimum wage. And so
all of that,
these folks know they I don't think would be against taxing rich people.
Why would they be against that?
Such an issue that they're holding up this fucking legislation that would benefit people, even back and forth arguing and negotiating. They might have to take out the free college for folks. And that's the bullshit. We need.
But you got to remember that these people that are in Congress and those positions, a lot of them are those people that have to pay, like Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin owns several companies. He is, if he's not close to a billionaire, he is definitely not broke in this lifetime and his family. He is definitely got plenty of money, and he would be one of those affected by these increases. And I'm like, there's nobody paying any attention that you're making this based on your personal and not the community itself. And they still elect these people.
Which state is he from? Is it Virginia or West Virginia?
That's the West Virginia. He's from West Virginia.
Okay.
He owns he's a part of a coal company. We all know that he's a part of that. It's in a blind trust, but he owns it. You know, the state is infrastructure is falling apart, and you standing up here blocking everything. This is for your state, not anybody else's. Why are you blocking all this? Who is paying you to fight this? Same thing with Christian cinema. It makes no sense to me. You're not supporting your constituents because they would tell you, stop protecting big companies and your rich friends.
70% of Americans, almost 70%, I think it's like 67%, 68%, support taxing the rich, support, raising taxes on corporations. Like, that is a majority of the country. What baffles me is that these lawmakers don't legislate or create policies based on what the fuck the majority wants. They do all these polls, and these polls tell them that these are popular ideas, but they still don't support it.
Because
they still got their money, their hands out getting paid for what they do once they get in.
It's their money,
and they're not reflecting them.
Like you said, it's their money that's gonna get taxed in the process of that. Because a lot of them getting $100,000 just to do what they do.
Well, I mean, a lot of them got their own companies and businesses that they had to set to the side and let somebody else run, but they still getting money off of those.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch McConnell is a billionaire. Him and his wife, they have billions of dollars. He owns several big companies. But no, they don't want to enact those laws because we're electing those people that can help the actual everyday people and get us out of this backwards recession. And as I read an article today, most of those ideas that they come up with in Congress are strictly the opinions of Caucasian men and has no say about the other nationalities or women. That's why we're not moving anything.
It's a bunch of
good old white guy stuff.
It's a bunch of slave owners.
Well, they don't want to change any of the status quo because remember, because
all of them about 100 years
oppressed.
All of them about 100 years old.
Yes, they are.
Every last one of them talking on 100 years old. So
they are fossils.
So and
their ideas are old.
So no, they have been slave owners for all these years, and that's how they run this country, like slave owners. You get what I'm saying? Well, they had the corporations, and we're their slaves. We pay them like a fool. How can we don't pay them? We gotta pay them, right?
Well, they get paid for being a member of Congress. They definitely do.
If we
smart, but that doesn't stop all their other businesses.
We know we can't depend on them, so it's time for us to depend on ourselves.
I don't understand why we as people don't change. I mean, we just elected people just to elect them because they're running. We're just going to elect them. We don't figure out what they're doing or how they're going to affect our own lives.
Well, that's what we did with Biden. I'm just saying.
I think he was much better than the last one we had because he wanted to be king.
We had a perfect candidate out there, and we just let him slip under the up under our thumb. Bernie Sanders. If y'all talking about age, his age, he's about the same age he is.
Yeah, but the thing is like we have to understand the president really doesn't make policy. Congress makes policy. The president can have priorities, can champion policies, but really the Congress is the ones that make policy. And those elections are the elections that, not saying the presidency isn't important, the presidency sort of sets the vision for the country.
Make laws.
It's the people for your House of Representatives, it's the Senate, the senators, the judges that are on your ballots. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get angry because we have these judges who, are not like viewing their job through a lens of restorative justice. But we elect these people. You know what I'm saying? Some of them.
They are 100 years old or more. Everyone on that judges panel is over 70.
Can I just ask one question since we brought up about the judges? What do
Only
y'all
way they
think
get
about
out is
that?
if they die. Is sad. Only way they get out is if they die.
Well, I'm talking about. Well, I was gonna talk about that boy that shot those people at that rally, where the judge say you can't call them victims. You have
That
to
too.
call them rioters and all that. What kind of crap is that? What planet are we on?
We in the
That
United
doesn't
States
even
of
make sense.
America.
You can't call those people victims because they were killed. You have to call them rioters. Has anybody ever heard of that kind of stuff? And how does that play out?
Welcome
Because
to
that's
America.
crazy. That's what
Why
I'm
do
saying.
you-
Everything is just really changing weird.
I don't understand when you say stuff like that. How is that weird?
Okay, no judge has ever said you cannot call the people that were killed by the defendant. You can't call them victims. You have to call them rioters or what do they call them? Rioters or they were unruly and all that kind of stuff, but you can't call them a victim. That is, why wouldn't you call them a victim? He shot them. They are a victim. They didn't ask to be shot.
You make it seem so
Because
plain.
he felt that, just because he felt that that's that privileged stuff. I'm a privileged white guy. I can go and shoot and kill anybody. And you shouldn't be able to say anything, and I shouldn't be held accountable for it.
That's what the former president said he could do. And there'll be no accountability.
And it wasn't.
Well, just like what the judge said. I'm like, this is crazy. And it's blatant in everybody's face, but yet there's no one there to say, okay, we're stepping out of bounds.
Isn't that the same thing that Trump did with COVID? Kind of kill people, with no discernment because he didn't step up the game. He didn't get vaccination like they're doing now. He didn't give incentives. He didn't try to make sure the pandemic was stopped early. He let it go.
Trump wasn't for the people. Trump was never there elected to be for the people. He was there for himself. And he told everybody, I'm there for me. I'm not there for the people. I'm there for my family to make sure my family can get in there. I'm trying to be y'all's dictator.
He did try to tell people to just, I'm sure he got the vaccine.
Oh, he did get the vaccine, but he didn't tell anybody he did because
I thought he was at like this last rally. There was a rally that he was telling people to get the vaccine and they were booing him.
Right.
Yeah, they booed him, but they didn't stop
him. He's trying to come
from
around and do the right thing. He's
too late.
trying.
It's too late. If you done spilled the milk, you can't tell nobody to act like it ain't down there. And they're not gonna believe him now. And then on top of that, after all the stuff he said, how can you believe him on anything?
But you still can't cry for the milk. You got to move on and get some more. I mean, I'm thinking with Donald Trump.
Well, he's still the loser. He's talking about his election was stolen. What are you talking about? It was stolen because people of color voted. That's so ugly to keep saying that. How was it stolen? We didn't like you. We didn't like you.
Didn't get shit out. And still didn't get shit out the deal.
Right. How can you say it was stolen? You mean because
we turned up and drove?
I'm sorry, it was majority
because y'all
voted that helped save this election. Let's not downplay the role that Black people, Black women played in turning out the vote in those states where those elections were super close. Those margins were won because there were investments in Black women and Black organizations.
And they were mobilized and ready for this because we knew what he was doing. I mean, it's not like he didn't tell y'all what he's planning on doing. I'm planning on staying here and not leaving, and you all are gonna worship me. I mean, we got in there and changed that. It was stolen because we didn't follow your plan. That's what it was, and we weren't falling for it. I'm glad we proved.
I'm concerned about next year, just with all the anti-voting laws that have been, popping up across the country. They did this back, in 2010 through 2014 with voter ID. And they're replaying what they did then by introducing these restrictive voting laws in all these states across the country. So it's going to be harder for people to vote.
These Republican states.
So, you know, that may impact the election. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there are folks that are on our side that are, you know, intelligent and creative and will figure out ways to make sure people have what they need so they can cast a ballot.
I believe so. And I think it's going to be up to us to work around some of these things. We're going to have to, because just like with everything, they put up these obstacles, but it's going to be up to us to overcome them and still make our voices heard. I mean, we just have to work a little harder. Then that way we can get our people in there. If we get a majority of our people in there, then we can make better decisions and progress and move forward instead of trying to stay stagnant and oppress people. We are an intelligent continent. I don't know why we don't use that for good, positive things instead of always going back. Like I said, even like with that congressman from West Virginia, the coal, all that's old stuff. Just because you got money in it, you should be trying to look at ways to revamp that and make more money investing in the future. You'll be ahead of the game instead of trying to keep it back. Oh no, we know the planet is going crazy.
You talking about hills have eyes? I'm scared of
The hills have, the earth is going to start fighting back even more.
No, I'm scared of West Virginia. It's spooky.
Well, remember, West Virginia is not a place for you people that look like you to settle in.
Oh, I know. It's hills have eyes, like scenario type thing.
Right.
It's serious.
Unless you believe in inbreeding. But still, why punish everybody else and why let him make all of those decisions? That's just. And the people that live there, what do they say? Because he's messing with them worse, because that means they get no funding and nothing changes for them. But he still gets his paycheck every month.
They ain't tripping, they're making moonshine.
They can't make moonshine if everything is torn down and there's no way to produce anything. Everything's breaking up, falling apart, tearing to pieces. Weather in West Virginia is floods and all that kind of stuff now that we're having regularly. How can you say I'm protecting my people and nobody is? You're not restoring nothing. You're not creating that infrastructure bill. I think it's awesome. If we can start moving that. Broadband for everybody, paid medical leave, all of that. Those are progressive things that we should be doing as a country. But you got them old fossils in there.
I mean, broadband, at the very least.
Everybody, yes.
There should be no place in this country where people cannot access the internet like that. If everybody they want has
a cell phone,
they should be able to. Exactly.
Excuse me, I'm at to quote, if you can get a vaccine created for the entire planet in less than a year, you mean to tell me we can't get broadband? This is too basic. You mean y'all can't make a way for us, everybody, to get broadband, internet access on the planet, but you can get that vaccine out there? Come on now. Come on. I'm not saying nothing is,
Is that all you want is broadband?
That's a basic. Everything is internet. You got to go to the doctor by the computer. You get your prescriptions by computer, all of that. Everything is interactive by computer. Why would you not have the planet internet for communication purposes? Just on the basics.
But what if they don't have that structure to put internet in there? Then they had to build that.
That's not, excuse me, if you can get a vaccine for the planet, you can come up with broadband for the planet. I mean, come on now.
If we can put William Shatner in space, we can come up with broadband for the planet.
Yes, you can. Hello, we're not talking about anything else. You're just putting wires in the ground and hooking them all up together. Come on now. That's creating jobs. It's creating a service for everybody. It's a win-win. There's no negative to that. Kids can go to school. If you want to have people that don't want to get vaccinated, you can stay home because everybody's got broadband. You have choice. Now they're making it a losing situation. It's crazy. We're not progressing. I'm sorry with that rant. I really apologize and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, how do you feel about it, Bobby? I mean, as little as that. I mean, come on.
No, I understand what you're saying because when I go visit my husband's family, they live in a small town, and the internet is not the best. The service is not the best, but they have it. But I can imagine if they didn't, because it would be. I will be lost. You know, I'm just visiting. I'll be lost. But it'd be a good thing. It's a good thing, though. I believe that if the people really want it, they will get it out there. And sometimes I think sometimes we need to take a break from broadband.
But that's how society is gone. It's not that we need to take a break. Everything is computer.
It is.
There's no way around it. And why? That's how people order their medicine. That's how people pay their bills now. A lot of that paper traffic is gone. They don't. Everything is computer.
That's how.
We have cell phones. Everybody's got a cell phone.
Not everybody does the same thing. It's groups out here that don't live off of anything but the earth and what it gives.
But so everybody should have access to the same thing. Whether you do the same thing as them, you should have access to it. At least have that option.
Yeah,
if I want to go to church, I at least have options to find a church, regardless of what denomination. I don't have to go, but I guess the
companies feel that it's not worth it. Isn't it the company?
We don't have the infrastructure put in. We have to build the infrastructure, and that's what they're BSing about. The wiring, all they got to do is, those jobs are there to lay the wiring down, and all they have to do is connect it. We still have areas that don't have any wiring that they have to lay down.
Isn't that the company, not the government?
The government pays for the infrastructure, the overall infrastructure. They're the ones that set up all that, just like your like Metro Transit and all that kind of stuff, and Amtrak and electricity and all that. That's your overall libraries. That's overall infrastructure. That's a part of that bill to fix the bridges and make sure the roads don't have supposedly not have potholes. That's all a part of infrastructure. Because if you don't have good infrastructure, your stuff is gonna crumble.
There's a lot of pork in those bills.
Well, as long as it's feeding and actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. That's old school stuff.
Learn how to feed yourself. Plant a seed. Grow some food.
Well, for those people that didn't grow up with parents to teach them, if everybody had broadband, we could at least Google it and find out the information on how to do it.
Yeah, that's somebody say you don't need parents to say, you just Google.
Right. But if we had broadband out in a small town, they can sit there and learn and teach
them small towns know how to survive.
Well, yeah, but everybody's entitled to
those
the same information.
Those the farmers, those the ones that's out there, they live off the land, them small towns.
Some.
They don't worry about
the farmers are fighting back.
They don't worry about Real Housewives of Atlanta. And
the black farmers were being left out of everything, and now the white farmers are suing because they're feeling discriminated against. Pretty soon it's the farmers' world.
Bye.
That's what it is. They're suing because they're feeling like they're being neglected. Oppression feels bad when you treat it like the same as everybody else.
No, they're angry because there was actually money that was set aside specifically to support Black farmers, and they didn't like that. They don't like when there's some equity dollars, put in place to help level the playing field.
How dare you treat everybody the same and make sure everybody's able to compete? How dare you?
What is fairness?
Well, it depends on what color you are. Hello, I mean, that's the only thing I can say. Depends on, because that is something that has been in America since its inception.
I'm just gonna say, this ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about, but be nice on Instagram Live, like playing 90s hip hop, and you going there. I'm just saying.
Oh, there you go on there. You got stuck on the 90s. The best era in music ever created. There's great entertainers throughout time, but the 90s was the era.
Wasn't the 90s all remakes?
No,
I wish all the stars.
Stop playing. It's all original. That was the last year they
That was the last of the original. Okay,
right.
It was the last of the original.
The real performers. They stopped performing.
The East Coast rappers sounded like one thing. The West Coast rappers sounded like one thing. The people down south sounded like one thing.
Style.
DC
artists had the
go-go. You know what I'm saying? Right. But now, and don't nobody be coming after me and calling me no old head. But I'm sorry, you can't distinguish where these rappers are from now. And the sounds are very...
You can't distinguish none of them.
Similar.
And now everybody's using that auto-tune to sing and all of that. Nobody's actually performing and doing talent.
Even the girls sound like the same. They all talk about
auto-tune. They're using the computer to make them sound like something.
Back then, we had choices. We had someone that can tell you the truth about your relationship. You feel what I'm saying? Then you had someone that when your relationship is back on good terms, they slip their drawers up.
And Joe.
They sang back then. Now they don't sing. They
had Gerald Levert or Keith Sweat to get you out your drawers. You feel what I'm saying?
They don't have those anymore. They're gone. They left in the 90s.
New edition.
Right. Then you had them
Howard Hewitt.
Then you had them girls that let you know, I hate you so much right now. You understand? You feel me? It was every emotion.
Shout out Khalees.
I'm
bossy.
Now everything is about WAP. Can we get something about something?
Hey, you can celebrate the pussy too. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think it should be celebrated.
But can you sing about something else?
People don't appreciate the pussy enough. Life.
They don't know what to really do with it because they listen to.
That canal.
Don't know what to do with
birth life, and it doesn't get the respect that it deserves.
I agreed. That's why I say that there's no other genre. The last genre was the 90s when the entertainers were entertainers. The rappers was rappers, and they were starting a movement. Now you got auto-tune and JoJo Siwa.
You know what Betty White said, don't you? Betty White said that pussy can take a pounding. The dick is weak.
That must be from the 60s.
Probably so. I was born in the 60s. I don't know why y'all talking about the 60s so bad. It's like that was a good year.
Because this is the 21s. That was 50 years ago.
The 60s was cute too. The 60s and the 70s, I really think I like the best because they was really doing the damn thing. I like how they had their carefree, smoke some weed. We doing our damn thing with my Stack Hills and Bush. All natural. Let me put some Vaseline on or cocoa butter on and walk out the door. I thought that is real. To me, I think that it was one of the liberating times where everyone just was like, fuck it, I'm me. Respect my melanin.
But those born in the 70s had an opportunity to experience the old school stuff and all of that oppression and be here for the new stuff and all this new wave of things. We've got the best of all of it because we were there before computers and we're still here.
Yeah, we created computers.
Yes, we was here before auto tuners when they had to really get out there and sing.
We was here before.
Or the Sandman would snatch you off by that cane.
We was here before cell phones.
Yes. we were the last generation before all of that newfangled stuff.
We was here when internet started like this.
That was AOL.
And I still have an AOL account. How you doing?
I know somebody else that has an AOL account.
And a Yahoo. How you doing?
Oh, you gotta have the Yahoo.
Shit. Who had a Black Planet page?
I did.
I had Black Planet page.
Yeah.
I think it still exists out there
I
somewhere.
didn't have one. I got there too late and people had moved on to something else.
Right. See, it was a certain time you had to be there for the first Black Planet page. All right, that's the time of innovation.
That was
and new ideas, and now we're becoming stagnant.
That was in the beginning.
This is because y'all getting old.
Well, just because we're getting older doesn't mean our minds are not working, and why are we not progressing? Why are we still talking about voters' rights?
That was BI.
What's that mean?
John Lewis been talking about voters' rights before he died. Come on, we still talking about it.
That was before internet. BI.
That's cute.
What is?
BI, before internet.
Oh, that was before the time. That was at before time when we used to sit on our porches and didn't have air conditioning units. We had the ceiling, had the fans.
Those are the good old days. I know what you're talking about, right?
I didn't say that wasn't the good old days. I just said that's during that time when we sat on the porches and we had box fans to keep everything cool. And all the cousins were sleeping in the living room.
I still have a box fan, and you correct. All cousins slept in the living room.
Our box fans are the
well, that's when watermelon had fucking seeds. You feel what I'm saying?
That's when they were red.
How you doing? And sweet. And you can sit on the porch and eat it and fight the flies. Yo, good times. Then you get the water hose. See, I live in the inner city, so
wait a minute. Didn't you hear somebody blast the Frankie Beverly and Maze?
Well, everyone playing Frankie Beverly or Pat Bell or something. Isley Brothers.
Somebody.
You know, you got the neighborhood drinker, the party house. You got that one party house in that hood that's blasting that music. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, we can't see everything, Dennis. Make sure we can see it.
Yes, shout out to Minnesota Marijuana. We got an event on Friday. It's Mary Jane Masquerade Ball. Come out in your costume. There'll be contests, rolling contests, pumpkin carving contests, and a best costume contest. So come out, hang out with us. We'll be outside, so dress for the weather. But I'm sure there'll be a bonfire.
Are y'all gonna actually wear costumes?
Great company.
Are y'all gonna wear y'all Halloween costumes for real?
Yes, I will be dressed up. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
Because I mean, just dress up and do all that play stuff. I think that's fun. And all that. Are you gonna dress up, Bobby? Dennis, are you gonna go as a normal person?
What's a normal person?
Probably not. You're not gonna wear a costume. You're just going as yourself.
I dress up all the time.
No, you don't.
I do.
You are Dennis Anderson, and that doesn't change. You
My
don't wear
costume
no
changes
costume.
every day. Where did Bobby go?
I don't know. Sometimes out here in Crystal, it knocks us off. I get knocked off every sometime. I'm glad I made it all night today.
I'm here.
Why did it knock you off, Ray? What are you doing wrong?
No, it's the system out here. Knocks out the whole house. So it's not me. Bobby, you gonna dress up and wear a costume with us at the party this weekend?
I don't know what festivities I'm gonna do with my son first, so I can't
That's right.
commit to anything.
I'm sorry.
Didn't y'all go to trunk or treat or whatever it was? I don't know what you call it.
He was supposed to go to work tonight, but no, he had other things to do.
Okay. I'd imagine. I'll come out have one of these.
Right. I tell what he supposed to do tonight. This is what we gonna do.
Mm-hmm. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, this is how it's gonna work out.
Oh, I know.
I don't know. I've never done a trunk or treat thing. So.
What's the trunk or treat?
When you get the candy out the trunk, ain't it?
Is that a new thing they've now come up with?
I just heard about it myself since I've been here, so I'm just like, no hate.
There's no hate. I mean, it's just a new thing. I don't mind moving. Like I said, we move forward in progress. I can learn new stuff. I'm not one of them old dogs that can't learn new tricks.
Hey, you got me on that because I'm new to this whole thing too. I mean, I know.
But some don't want to learn new tricks. They want to stay with what they claim they know. They don't want to advance.
Well, I think people should be able to be where they're at. There's no real set agenda for anybody to be any place different. That's up to them.
Again, like I said, not everybody wants to advance. Go ahead, son.
But two, you got to meet people where they're at. I mean, and then take them on their journey.
So we need to help people for that journey.
Yeah. I mean, just meet them where they're at, wherever they're at, and
meet them there.
Walk with them, and take them through it.
But you can always lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, we always want to make sure everybody goes with us, but we can control whether they want to. I mean, you could be standing in the water and still won't drink it because you just, for some reason, are weirdo. You just want to do something different, and we're trying to help you. I mean, and there's a lot more of those out there than we realize. And all that good stuff. Now, it's hump day. Did we talk about COVID today?
COVID.
Yeah, because did everybody get y'all shots? Everybody in Minnesota, please go get your shots. And if you are of a certain age, you are eligible for the booster, especially with compromised system. You get first dibs at it.
What does that mean?
That's what the boosters are for. It's not just for everybody. It's for those that have additional issues and those of a certain age. And hopefully you have a healthcare provider and you will have that discussion and you're just not just winging it. Hopefully.
Oh, I guess.
But remember, even if you got it, even if you get the booster, still wear your mask. You must still do that and make sure you have hand sanitizer and all of that. You must still wear your mask. That's the only way to stay safe for the holidays. Come on, let's make it to Christmas and the New Year's. Let's make it together and further.
Now, do you wear your mask when you with your family? Because that's when all the family get together. They ain't seen each other in thousands of years.
I ain't getting with my family, so hey.
Why not?
I mean, y'all could try to
Totally.
limit the amount of interactions you have, like a couple weeks going into Thanksgiving, going into Christmas, so that you can, limit possibility of transmitting anything. There are things you can do to try to, make that time safer. And, there's still often free testing at CVS pharmacies and Walgreens pharmacies. Get tested. And if you want to be able to be free with your family, then make that sacrifice. Quarantine those 2 weeks. Don't go out. Then for sure you ain't got shit. And you ain't going to be passing on shit to nobody in your family.
Right, and that means testing. So, I mean, we would
And
like
if you
everybody
don't,
to get the vaccine, but if not, go get tested. That way
and
you
if you
know.
don't want, and if you don't want the regular test when they stick that thing all the way up to your nose, go take a spit test. There's a lot of test locations out here. I have done it. It's easy, and they let you know within 24 to 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? That's the best. I don't have to wait a whole week or anything like that. And I'm just spitting in a cup, So.
And that way you don't have nobody on your conscience that you may have killed them.
Right.
So what do y'all think about 12 to 17-year-old getting it now?
You mean the 5 to 11-year-olds? They
I'm
get vaccines to
thankful.
go to school.
I'm calling tomorrow to make my son's appointment.
And
So
to get
whenever
vaccines to go to school.
he's ready to get it.
Right. So yes, there's nothing different. I think kids should go and do it, right? That way they're not passing it to anybody. Because there are kids that have compromised health. And you don't want to kill one of your friends.
I can ask parents, do they think kids deserve a shot?
And you don't want them to bring it home to you.
Don't you want your kid to be completely healthy, the best of your abilities, and to be safe and not to go through all that stuff? I mean, I'm sure some don't, but I mean, you want to make sure your kids have the best and protect them as best way possible. That's your job as a parent.
I guess, my son is grown. He don't have any kids, so I'm not quite sure how I feel about giving a vaccination for adults to children, even if it's watered down.
Dude,
Right?
your kids cannot start any public school on this continent without having its vaccines done. This is not any different. You can't, without your vaccine records, you cannot start public school. So I don't understand where the problem is. It's just another vaccine.
All right. I mean, if you want to get your kid that, I'm assuming that's okay. But I'm more concerned about my kid's health.
Okay, that is a part of the kid's health. What is different from the other vaccines they have to take in order to start school? And mandatory vaccines they have to take in order to go to school. That's on the books. There's no making it up. They have to go into the military. The vaccines you have to take in order to be in the military. What's different with the COVID vaccine? Why are you making it sound like it's a different type of vaccine? Or I don't understand.
I'm just talking for my kid's sake.
Okay, I mean, okay, what are you talking about for your kids' sake? I don't understand. You're not answering the question.
Am I taking a risk getting my kids vaccinated? Is it okay? I mean,
Your
I don't know down the
kids
line.
vaccinated to go to. So I'm sorry.
Is this going to stunt their growth?
You didn't ask that question about the chickenpox vaccine. You didn't ask that about mumps, measles, or rubella. You just assume that it's going to do what it's supposed to. What makes this different? Can somebody help a brother out? What makes this different?
I'm so glad we had this time together.
Oh.
Just when you think.
Yes, IQ.
Yes, IQ.
Well, I see we got half a minute left, and I can't get no answers on what makes differences. But we thank y'all for joining us at the Bipoc Happy Hour. We're here Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. to entertain and hopefully educate sometime. And just wind down and hopefully take a little bit off your mind. We will be here tomorrow. Please, if you got questions, talk to
No,
your
tomorrow's
local
Thursday.
provider.
We'll be here Friday.
Oh, we'll be here Friday. I apologize.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we'll be here. And we're glad y'all came today. Peace out, everybody.
Good night.